Since I want this to be an Uber Eats video, I don't want to talk about DoorDash too much, but the first order I did accept was for DoorDash $7.50 for decent amount of mileage, like 2.5. So I said, okay, we're gonna do this. And then the order was not even started by the time I got to the restaurant. Maybe that's more of a restaurant thing, but I just don't know if that would have happened on Uber Eats. But the next order we got was for Uber Eats. This one was nice, like $9.75 for about 5 miles. I'm really excited to do this one. I mean, like, the payout's just really nice on Uber Eats compared to DoorDash. So we're gonna take care of this, and I think it's gonna be pretty smooth. First Uber Eats order complete. Order was ready in the restaurant. They just bagged it up, handed it off to me, and then we went easy drop off there. Now, we did decline about like 6 orders, maybe 7 orders, but even before we dropped off that one, we got a $10 order here for Jersey Mike's. The order is going to be ready in the store. I just know it, and then we're gonna have an additional like 2 miles to the customer, which is probably gonna drop us off in a pretty decent area to receive more Uber Eats orders later on. All right, about a 2.5 mile drive to the customer, got it dropped off, and I guess there could potentially be a hidden tip there because it was more than $10 on the acceptance screen. Then we drove the 2.5 miles back to the hotspot, picked up a pita jungle order for $9.21. This one's only about like 3 miles. So again, another like pretty good order here. I will make a note that the past 2 customers that I've delivered to on Uber Eats, I have delivered to them multiple times in the past couple months. It's just something interesting to take note if we are like caring about how the algorithm works. All right, picked up that pita jungle order. It is a really good order. It's just that like I had to decline so many of them. I mean, I had to decline maybe like 10 to 15 orders before I got this one. Of course, I am gonna do that on DoorDash or Grubhub, any of the apps too, like decline a bunch of orders before I find a good one. So yes, there are good orders out there, but it is gonna take a while and you just gotta be patient. Things got pretty strange. I decided to call Uber Eats support and talk about the upfront details issue, where I cannot see restaurants and I cannot see drop-off locations if I don't accept at least 3 of the last 10 deliveries. I called them up because that's the only way to contact them. I just wanted to talk to somebody that could potentially remove this from my account, especially if I'm going to be working Uber Eats all the time now. Well, I just got off the phone with them after over 1 hour of speaking with them, and they basically did not help me at all. They don't want to give me that information. They want to increase my acceptance rate. It's just so frustrating, but we did a bunch of orders while we were doing that. We had one for $7.28, I believe, and that one was relatively short. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to really film anything while I was on the phone with them because it was already so chaotic of trying to drive and trying to do orders and trying to talk to them on the phone. Like, it's just so much. I don't need to add filming into it. But don't worry, there's going to be plenty of filming tonight when we're working the dinner shift. It's going to be so busy. And I have a quest going on starting at 5 p.m. where I could make an additional amount of money for every trip that I accept. Okay, but we did do 2 more orders in this lunch shift. The first one was over $9. It wasn't too far, I think like 4.2 miles. The order was ready when we walked into the store and dropped it off. It was a meet at door to a hotel. I'm really glad they met me outside because I don't like delivering to hotels that much. And then we did an over $10 order here for Grimaldi's. It was an expensive restaurant. They ordered quite a bit of food, going to a nice house, so maybe there's a hidden tip on there. That's all we did for the lunch shift, $64.66 right now, unless there's a hidden tip. And then dinner, I know is going to be crazy, but right now I have to finish editing my video, get that posted, and then we're gonna come out here for the dinner shift, and it's going to be really, really busy on Uber Eats. Got the video posted, and now we're headed out right before 5 p.m. 30 declines later, and we finally got one. It's over $11 for about 5.5 miles. Order was ready when we walked into the restaurant, and we're on our way to drop it off right now. This will be order number 1 of our quest, and I think we can earn $30 extra because of this quest tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to finish it all, but that would mean Uber Eats has to give us a ton of good orders. It may happen, it may not. We got that first one dropped off, but the orders just are not flowing in. I don't want to have to go back to DoorDash. I don't want to have to go to Grubhub. I just want to do Uber Eats tonight. But if it's not that busy, unfortunately, that order was for a restaurant that pretty frequently does not have the items ready. It's a pizza place. Pizza takes a long time to cook, and if it's not ready, it's not ready. So we had to wait almost 10 minutes to receive it. But good news, while we were waiting, we got a stacked order. This one was for I Heart Mac and Cheese, and usually they have the orders ready. So by the time I finally got the pizza, drove all the way to the second restaurant, that second order was ready. So that's great. First drop off was pretty easy. They lived at a pretty confusing apartment complex, but they met me like right at the front gate, so very nice. Now we're on our way to the second customer. By complete accident, I accepted this one. I was doing something else, touching other buttons on the Uber Eats screen, and this just popped up and I accepted it immediately. And then I took a screenshot of it because I'm like, well, if I accept it, I want to know what I'm doing. And it actually looks like a pretty decent order. So that's cool, I guess. It might even be the best one of the day if it's ready in the restaurant. Okay, wow, this is going to be a very, very short delivery. It was ready. It was sitting there right on the rack. Usually doesn't happen at that location, so that's very nice. And the like 3 miles that it takes to get to the customer, we might even get this done in like less than 10 minutes total for the delivery. That's insane, especially because I've been fighting traffic and just like so many red lights today. Well, that got dark quick. We did one more order. It was $11 for, I think it was like 5 or 6 miles. It really wasn't that bad. I had to wait maybe like 1 or 2 minutes in the restaurant for them to get the order from the kitchen and bring it to me. And it went pretty well. I think there could be a hidden tip on that one. And we completed 5 deliveries, so we got an extra $10. We just need 2 more deliveries to get an extra $2. That's $4, not 2. Turns out there's not really any orders over there. So we drove 15 minutes back to one of our favorite areas, and right before we pulled up, we got this order for over $11, 6 miles. PF Chang's. Hey, if they ordered a lot of food on here, it could be higher than that $11. We dropped off the PF Chang's order and we were on our way to the hot spots, or at least the closest place with restaurants, and we got this one for $19, a stacked order. Both orders were for the same restaurant and they were both sitting there right on the shelf. So we just got both of them, walked to our car, and it was a very far drive to the first one, but it was actually taking us back to a really good hotspot, one that I really like to be in. And so I was very happy when I swiped to start the delivery and found that out. And the second drop off was only about a mile away. And those were 2 pretty good orders, except for like sitting in the car for a long time. We're doing all right. I drove the 2 miles to the nearest hotspot and we picked up a Streets of New York order. I was worried about this one because we had to wait a while last time we were here, but this one seemed pretty good. The order was ready and we went about like 12 minutes to go drop it off. It was a nice payout, $13. Right after we dropped that one off, we got an order for Wendy's, $14. Whew, that's a nice payout. I walk in there, there's a good reason why it's $14. It's because their mobile ordering system is down. They were unable to make my order, and so I had to contact Uber support, and that conversation took a while because I was really worried that it was going to affect me because I can't see upfront address details if I don't accept 3 of my last 10 deliveries, and they told me I had to cancel it myself. I was frustrated because I'm like, well, if I cancel it myself, it's going to count against me. And well, it did, even though I told them I cannot have this count against me. Do not let it count against me. And they were like, I don't know what this upfront address details thing is. And so of course, like now I can't see any details. Like that's just great. But I did something kind of sneaky, which I think it was actually good because no other driver had to go to that restaurant to pick it up. I accepted this one for $3.50 for Wendy's, and I also got that one canceled. But I think that's way better for me to accept it and then get paid for it for doing basically no work than it is for another driver to drive 4 miles to the restaurant like I did, only to find out that they have to contact Uber support and get that one taken care of. So it worked out. I got $3 for one of them and $4 for the other. So that's pretty cool. I guess it's not $14, but it is $7. Oh, and Uber just loves just putting the orders just right in front of my finger. So as soon as it pops up, I'm like doing something. I'm like looking at my earnings and I just accept an order because it pops up in front of everything. So I had to cancel that one. Obviously, I'm not taking $9 for 8 miles. And my cancel rate is extremely high now because those 2 canceled orders, since they weren't able to cancel it on their end, those also counted as cancels. So my cancel rate's like 14% right now because I've had like 10 orders in the past week that have just like popped up right in front of my finger. And I'm like, this is disgusting. I'm not taking it. I don't know if I'm ever going to be deactivated for having a high cancel rate on Uber because they don't tell me what I should keep my rating above. Our next one was for Chick-fil-A, but it wasn't the close Chick-fil-A. It was the one that was 4 miles away. I guess it's fine. I mean, 6 miles is 6 miles and it's over $11, so that's all right. The order was ready, but there was a lot of like construction, closed roads, so it took a lot longer to deliver it than I expected. It's okay. I mean, it did complete the 3rd level of this quest, so I got an additional $6. That's pretty cool. We were waiting around for an order for a long time, declining a bunch of bad ones, and then we got this one for Walgreens. I know it really doesn't look good, but I believe I have some shop and pay bonus that I can also hit by doing this. They told me like I can get $20 for completing 3 shop and pay orders this week. And the first one, they're going to pay me $10. So this could actually be $16 and it's only 3 items. Sure, why not? The Walgreens order was okay. I mean, it wouldn't have been worth it if it weren't for the $10 extra I'm going to be receiving, but I read the fine print. I'm not going to be receiving that today. Supposedly, we'll get that in about 2 weeks, so we're not going to count that into today's earnings, which we made $7.50 on DoorDash and over $200 on Uber Eats today in just under 8 hours. So not an amazing shift. It was okay. I was expecting a little bit more from this Friday night, but oh well. I think multi-apping is definitely going to give us higher earnings. I took some Uber Eats orders that were very questionable, but if I was running DoorDash, maybe I could get a quick like $6.50 order for 2 miles while I'm waiting for a good Uber Eats order to pop up. That's just what happens when you're relying on one app. That's why Uber Eats is my favorite, but I won't only be driving for them because I want my earnings to be high. If you want to see one of my crazy shifts where I worked Uber Eats a ton, click on the video right here. And don't forget, we're doing a giveaway at the end of this month of September, where if you comment on every video in September and you're a public subscriber of the channel, you could win money from me. Full details are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.